Welcome to Movie Date with Jess and Kait. I'm Kait.
And I'm Jess.
And we have a guest with us today.
I'm Andrew.
What's up? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, of course. No, it was great. Like I mean, I'd come over to watch a movie and not record a podcast about it too. So that's cool.
Never again.
Never again.
Only
Yeah.
podcast from now
Only,
on.
yeah. Every time I come over, we have to now.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Movie Date is a podcast where me and Jess, a couple who love watching movies.
I get it.
And so on.
Yeah, I get it.
You were just explaining it to Andrew, not to the audience.
Well, I'm explaining it to Poppy, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Andrew,
Like, I get it.
you picked Child's Play for us to watch today. Why did you pick that?
Oh, so I mean, I haven't watched this movie since like I was a little kid, like a couple of years after it came out, because I was 2 when it came.
Yeah.
But like
As old as Andy in the movie.
yeah, as old as it's like when they eventually reveal that he's 6, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just
Because-
not very mature. I think
Yeah,
we
yeah.
could, he's
Yeah.
doing his best.
His name's Andy, too.
Yeah, that was part of it.
That's
So,
scary
like-
as shit.
So like
That's how I felt with Jessica Rabbit. I
Yeah.
felt very connected to the character because
Yeah, I
we had the
could
same
tell.
name.
Terrifying.
But this movie scared the living motherfucking shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like it was like to the point where it was like my chief fear as a little kid was Chucky. Like past the movie, like it was like a big thing. And like
Would your
when-
mom like have to check for Chucky in the closet or something?
No. You wouldn't have to check for Chucky in the closet or anything like that. But
I had already checked.
But like, yeah, I had already checked. Like I thought about it a lot.
Yeah.
But like well, like because there was all those sequels, right? So
Yeah.
when those sequels were coming out, like they'd be at the video store. And if there was like a Chucky standee, like I was waiting outside.
Yeah.
Like I had to wait in the car.
That was my memory of it, was later on when like Bride of Chucky commercials would come out. And I remembered thinking like she was pretty, so I like kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Jennifer Tilly, once that's happening, then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this is like.
by then I was like starting to get over it, but
Yeah.
like between then.
You're like a senior in high school.
But like I remember being, I had to still be in like elementary school, and like my older brother and my mom came home with like we both worked in Toys R Us, like came home with a Chucky doll. With, like,
Oh my
no.
God.
like, I remember getting called downstairs, and like the rest of my family's all kind of standing around like, and then like just I remember only having eyes on it for like a split second, just seeing it be like nope, and like bathroom locked door, and like it was like
Oh my
out, like having to be coaxed out like,
Oh.
for hours. And then like
Why keep buying for you?
That
They're
to
mess-
you.
yeah, they were. I don't think they like appreciated like how seriously
Afraid you were?
terrified of Chucky.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I was so fucking scared of Chucky.
What
Were
they
you
do with the
afraid of
TV?
Chucky?
Yeah, I think I was, because it was like you said, like it was the same thing with like Hellraiser, where I didn't even watch the movie. I didn't know what the hell it was. I just saw the like sequels and the cover in like a Blockbuster or something like that.
Oh yeah,
So it would scare the shit out of me. Yeah, it was terrifying.
yeah. Like I remember like there were certain like bits and pieces of this movie, like certain like scenes and images that were like really like stuck with me.
Well, how old were you when you actually watched it?
I don't know. It's like too early enough for me to like have clear enough
Yeah.
of it to like be sure. But
I
I had
can't
to be
believe
like,
you did.
yeah, dude. I mean, like when I was a little kid, my dad especially was like really into just like having me watch movies that he watched. So
It's like this for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
so like I still watch kids movies. So like I still like Milo and Otis and Roger
Yeah.
Rabbit and shit like that. But I also love like Aliens and Commando, and
Yeah.
Terminator.
My parents took us to see Braveheart in the movie theater, and I remember a family member like scolding them about it, and my mom was like, "It's educational."
It's history.
Which is also so historically inaccurate. Yeah. At the time, we didn't know. There's no way to know.
yeah.
Yeah, no books.
So books
What
back
are you gonna
then.
Google it?
Yeah, no.
Like how? You couldn't.
Yeah.
Um,
Possible.
well, Chucky was directed by Tom Holland. who both wrote and directed it. Who he also did Fright Night. Have you seen that one? It also stars Chris Sarandon. All I remember is how sexy Chris Sarandon is in that movie. He's like kind of like one of those evil, but it's like hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sultry.
he's playing a Chris Sarandon character.
Yeah.
I love him.
Like he threw me off in this. I was like, how
This
come
was
he's not? How come
his,
he's not
like-
evil and sexy?
Yeah. He plays Detective Norris, Mike Norris. We have Catherine Hicks, who you may know as the Seventh Heaven Mom. She's Karen, mom. Alex Vincent plays the little boy, Andy. And then Brad Dourif, who you may most likely know from Lord of the Rings. He's Ringworm, right? Wormtail? What's his name in the movie?
Wormtongue.
Wormtongue.
He's a Primo Wormtongue.
He's Wormtongue.
There's a lot of things. He's Tombs.
He's Tombs in X-Files.
He's a Lon Suitor and Voyager.
He's also in the first Dune movie.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's specializes in being evil dude. He is both Charles Lee Ray and Chucky, we will learn. So we open on a man running down an alley. A cop is chasing him, and it's just very like foggy Chicago street, kind of like a Terminator style, like da-dong music is like playing. They're like shooting at each other, jumping and rolling over cars. The cop chasing him is Chris Sarandon, Detective Norris. He's like, the Strangler, he's going that way. He's like the Strangler, he's in the mafia, and then we'll also learn has other hobbies as well.
Yeah.
He's like, got a lot going on.
Yeah, his brand of criminal is kind of like all over the map.
Yeah.
Because the Strangler like implies serial killer, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's a serial killer name. And like a serial killer having a partner is not unheard of, but it's super rare.
Yeah.
And it's so specific.
And he's like a
Have it-
getaway car, and his partner's Eddie Caputo. You know, not to say
Yeah.
And he stereotypes about Italians, but in this film he does happen to be a mobster.
Yeah. he's like a mobster whose thing is that he does like voodoo or Santeria or something.
Yeah.
He does some unspecified.
All of the above.
He's got all the evil covered, but he's running. He's trying to get to his partner. He's screaming for Eddie. Eddie screeches away in the getaway car without him. Chris Sarandon is, we've mentioned this many times, just the coziest cop. He has like a gorgeous fluffy turtleneck,
Yeah.
a beautiful pea coat, kind of like not even really running, just like.
Well, Andrew said, like, it was like, hey, Chris, we have your wardrobe right over here.
And he's like, no, I'm good.
No.
My
How
character
comfy.
is just was undercover in a country club.
Yeah. Chicago's cold, so.
Yeah.
Chicago is cold. So Sarandon, Detective Norris, shoots at him.
Well, first he hits him in the leg, and that's why he's hobbling.
Oh,
He
okay.
can't. He like runs out of places to go, so he's in the doorway, and then he shoots the lock. Brad Dourif shoots the lock.
Oh, Brad Dourif.
And he lets himself into the toy store.
Okay.
To try to like hide in the toy store.
In the toy store, there is just like a wall that is covered with Chucky dolls, or they're not called Chucky dolls. They're called good guy dolls.
Yeah.
They're kind of doing a little like cat and mouse throughout the store. Ray is like bleeding out while like Chris is following him and shooting him. Ray finally, you did say it's good that he went into a Chucky doll instead of another toy.
Yeah, there was like a pro hockey game.
Oh yeah.
He was like trapped in one of those like little.
Just like all the little hockey guys. Please take us to kill Eddie Caputo.
You
please."
bastard.
And as Ray is like bleeding out, dying, he's just screaming like, "I'm gonna get you for this! I'm gonna get you and Eddie, no matter what!" So he's like seeking revenge, even though he's about to die. He like falls into the giant wall of Chucky dolls. One is like lying right on top of him. They're like face to face. He smiles as he looks at the box. And he's like, "Give me the power, I beg of you."
Yeah, he starts saying like fake Santeria, like
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's like
Cajun.
Is he speaking a real language there?
no, almost
Don't
certainly
care.
not.
Yeah. What he's saying, he's like doing this incantation, and the clouds above him, because this toy store has like this giant gorgeous skylight in it. Of course. You see the clouds like hovering overhead, lightning striking. A lightning bolt comes down and hits right in the middle of this ceremony. The entire place just explodes. There must have been like a gas leak as
Yeah,
well.
well, that's what happens when those old buildings get struck by
They just every single window like busts
Burst.
open.
into flame.
We see Detective Norris, not a scratch on him.
Yeah.
I mean, this place literally was like
Yeah.
it was bombed.
Well, the coat and the sweater protect me.
Yeah.
He has like a little bit of dirt on his face. He
Oh.
goes, he sees that Ray is dead and that the Chucky doll is just kind of looking up like, ah. We cut to a living room and there's a little boy, Andy. He's watching a good guy TV show and it's like very sweet and like classic kids show. He's pulling over a stool to like make his own toast. He's making like a big bowl of cereal.
It's a good guy's cereal.
Yeah, good guy cereal. And then
Yeah.
he puts sugar on it.
His outfit is like a good guy's outfit. Which does Danny in The Shining wear like a striped shirt like that with overalls?
I'm so glad you said, because especially later in the movie, like I was like in the confrontation in the apartment was so giving me The Shining.
They
Yeah.
pull like a lot of stuff from a lot of different movies, and definitely The Shining is one of them. On the TV show, there's almost like a Barney size that like live action good guys. I keep wanting to say
Like a
Chucky. He's not
mascot.
Chucky. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just the mascot. And then another little just doll version says, "Hi, my name is Oscar." So I guess they all have different names, or his name is Oscar.
Yeah, weird that they all look the same.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like it like the premise of the good guys show for me anyway. I feel like it needs more explanation.
I have notes.
Like,
He comes down from a hot air balloon and he says, "I'm gonna be your friend to the end."
but it's like a bunch of these little identical looking
Yeah.
like red haired
Was this
freckled kids.
pre or post Barney?
It was pre, I think.
I have no idea.
I mean, the big mascot very much reminded me
I
of
mean, there
Barney.
were a lot of little like talking dolls and stuff around this
Yeah.
time. Like I'm sure it was just like
And they were kind of creepy, so you could see why
Yeah.
someone would pull this idea from looking at those.
Yeah.
But by now the toast is burning. He like grabs that. He's got like a whole little tray. This part was really cute because you think he's making breakfast for himself, but he brings it into the living room. He notices like a giant gift wrapped and then a tiny one. He goes into his mom's room and he's like, Mommy, I made you breakfast. And like the toast has like ice cream on top of it.
no, it was like fucking butter. It was
Yeah,
a big
that was
like-
butter?
yeah, it was like a
country
tub.
crock like
Yeah, tub.
I would eat that on a cup. It looks
Oh,
like ice cream.
he took
it
a big
did.
scoop of it.
And
but-
it tasted like ice cream. I
Yeah.
used to just fucking eat. As a little kid, I would just eat that.
You
shit.
and my friend Jenny would eat butter. Just
I
a
have
stick of butter, she would eat it like a
Nightmare
popsicle.
about eating a whole stick of butter.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
the
that would
tub
kill
butter.
me.
Tub butter.
The tub butter, yeah.
That would kill me.
That's
Stick,
a kid
stick of
food.
butters. That's
sick.
something else, yeah.
That makes me sick.
They go to open up the toy. The big box one, he's like, "Oh, this must be Chucky." Opens it up. It's clothes.
The worst gifted
When you're a
child could
kid.
receive, yeah.
Did you hate getting clothes as a kid?
I mean, I don't think I hated it, like getting clothes as a kid, but
Yeah.
I mean,
They
what kid
took-
is excited to get clothes?
Yeah, you're just like, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you have a toy as a kid that would have been a Chucky equivalent?
I don't know, like a doll that I really love. Like,
Yeah.
He was terrified
No,
of
no,
them.
no. Yeah, there wasn't like
Well, not
one-
Chucky's, but I mean, like, if you had,
Like the big popular toy.
yeah.
No, I mean I had a lot of I had a lot of toys growing up. Like I didn't think there was like any one in particular that was like
What's your favorite? You weren't kissing them goodnight.
yeah like I had a ton of like Star Wars shit. I had a ton of Ninja Turtles shit.
Nice.
Like, I had a lot of Lego.
Fuck yeah.
I had like Street Sharks. Like
Damn,
all sorts of,
dude.
like,
Dragon.
shit.
Gabe
No, I
so
had a lot
much
of like
streets.
action
I
figures.
do want street sharks.
They were cool.
They are cool.
We never really did the fads like a Tickle Me Elmo or what was the other one, like a Furby.
Oh yeah, we
But
had
I
Furby.
did have
Oh,
a
I did
doodle
have
bear
Furby,
that I
yeah.
loved, and then I accidentally wrote on it in permanent marker. and
Yeah.
it never came off.
Oh. That's shit. I did just remember we had a Teddy Ruxpin. Like
Oh yeah, that's probably the closest.
similar to Chucky.
Yeah.
Like yeah, Teddy Ruxpin was just like he was a teddy bear. He had like a cassette tape player
Oh
in
yeah.
him, and there was like a companion story that he would like narrate. There was like a book with it, and that was like a movie too. Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, I never saw a movie or anything. I saw like other kids had the doll.
Mhm.
I had a lot of Barbie too.
If you put in a different tape, would it still be like ah, ba ba ba
Oh,
ba?
like it would still his mouth would still move. But
So he
like
could be like singing Metallica.
yeah, my dad like recorded himself like singing a bunch of dumb little songs because like he went like he was away during the Gulf War.
Oh,
Like, he was
okay.
in California. He wasn't even around. But
He's
like
having a ball.
no, he
Yeah,
wasn't in,
surfing.
yeah, he was like in like 29 Palms.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's on vacation.
So like he was away, but like
Yeah. But he recorded stories
Yeah,
for him to like for your to,
oh
like, sing
yeah,
to
like
you
him like
guys?
singing like songs and
That's
shit.
so cute.
That is cute.
That's really cute. Aw.
Um, in the second smaller box, there is a good guy item, but it's a tool chest with a lot of just different like toy, like hammer and saw. And Andy's kind of like, I wanted the doll, Mom.
No, he's like, well, I want a good guy to go with it. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like as sweet as you could a
That's
version
true.
of this.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, like I think like little kids are gonna like because he's clearly obsessed. Like
Yeah.
his thing. So obviously he's gonna want that.
Yeah.
Like and it's one of like the sweetest ways of little because he thinks he's being subtle. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're right. Well, Mom,
And
and
you're
then
like this little brat.
well, then the mom, I felt really bad. She was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't have time to save for it because
Yeah.
it's $100."
Yeah,
which
back
back
then,
then
$5,000.
$5,000.
Yeah.
We cut to Mom at work, Karen at work, and her coworker Maggie runs over and is like, "You know that doll you wanted? There's a peddler outside selling it in the alley." So they go out.
Don't ask why I was back there.
They go out to the alley and in a shopping cart, they're like haggling with this man who has the doll like in the shopping cart.
Just the one.
Yeah, along with other items.
Like I again like I didn't remember this part from watching it as a little kid, but like I'm picturing like oh there's a dude outside with like a van backed up to the alley with like a shitload of these he picked out of the trash.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's like it's just the one.
Yeah,
the
this
one.
didn't fall off of a truck. Yeah, he just literally found. Well, even the friend is like, "How do we know you didn't steal this damn thing?"
What do you mean?
It's guaranteed
How do you
stolen.
not know? Yeah.
like it's like the one ring, you know, just found
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I was gonna say it's like voodoo magic. It just like bonked it down into his cart.
Back in the shop, we meet their bitchy manager who is basically like, "Maggie, you need to work long, even though it's your kid's birthday. I don't care." Or not Maggie, Karen,
Yeah.
the mom has to work long. It's your kid's birthday. I don't care. And Maggie's like, "Don't worry, I'll watch Andy tonight. That way you can still work."
Yeah, you can go pick him up and then come back to work.
It
Yeah.
was just the most fucking unreasonable manager in the entire place.
Yeah,
I was getting
really.
so fucking mad.
Yeah.
Like,
We cut to the house and Mom gives Andy the gift. He now has his Chucky doll. He's thrilled. Chucky's like, oh, he says, "Hi, I'm Andy." And then Chucky in a very like toy, like when you like pull a string thing, like it's recorded. "Hi, I'm Chucky. I'm your friend to the end." So he seems to be functioning just like a regular little doll.
Yeah.
We cut to now Matt.
So far, so good.
So
well,
far,
I don't
so
know. I feel like because like I you know I remember like the late '80s, early '90s a bit. I feel like a toy like this working out of the box is suspicious.
That is
Wow.
Like
that's
working
true.
straight out of the box like that.
Yeah, everything took some assembly.
Certainly something will come up. Yes, that
Yeah.
he's
Huh?
suspicious.
and it like working so well like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like responding right away.
Yeah,
to
responding that well to voice command. It's
Yeah.
like they had like around then like had like toys that were supposed to respond to voice command, but they
Yeah.
didn't fucking work.
him. Yeah, yeah. Just screaming at him until they
Yeah.
eventually just said something by accident.
Yeah, it makes way more sense in Megan because now today you'd be like, "Oh yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
everything is made to pick up kids." My like niece will be just in like her baby talk, like Alexa, and then Alexa will recognize her voice and be able to say, like, do what she's saying,
Yeah.
even though she's just like babbling.
Yeah.
That's kind of
To
creepy.
market directly to babies.
It's
Two
kind of
babies.
scary.
Yeah,
for
she's 2.
baby.
Yeah. So Maggie's in the house, and Andy is playing with Chucky. On the news, it mentions that Ray's partner, Eddie Caputo, has been captured. It was like right after the kids show.
These
too.
are the most notorious criminals in Chicago.
The only 2.
Like think of that like on a news
Yeah.
like we cut in to like tell
We interrupt this good guys children's show.
Yeah.
kids gotta know.
Yeah.
Don't worry, kids. The streets are safe now.
Maggie turns off the TV. She's like, all right, bedtime, takes Andy and Chucky to bed. She goes back into the kitchen and she's putting stuff away. We see Andy like brushing his teeth, getting ready for bed. And then Maggie hears the TV turn back on, like seemingly on its own. She turns around and Chucky is there sitting in like a chair facing the TV, finishing up the Caputo report.
Yeah.
Maggie runs over, turns it off again, kind of like drags aggressively like Chucky down the hall, showing that she's like a little mad. And like to Andy is like, I told you to go to bed, not to like turn on the TV. What did Chucky do? Walk into the living room and turn it on by himself? Because Andy's saying that he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck.
Yeah, Andy's trying to defend himself. She kind of just like tucks them both in. She's not having it. She leaves, and then this part was really sad. Andy like goes to Chucky as they're both like lying in bed in the dark. I told you she'd be mad if you watched the news. And then Andy like gives Chucky a little kiss, and they both go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, him like being so sweet with the doll, like adds a layer.
Yeah.
to the
It's
sadness
so
of it.
sad. That kid really does do a lot for this movie to like make it not just insane.
I don't think it's his fault that the character isn't like written to be more age appropriate. Like a little.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
this
he's
script.
doing as good of a job with the script as.
Oh
he
yeah,
can.
the little kid's great.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
good in it for sure.
Yeah, he's like aggressively. They make the kid like aggressively like childish and cute.
Yeah, like
So-
well, we.
It's not 6 years.
And no,
Yeah.
no. I gotta look up how old that kid was. Actually.
Yeah, no, the 6-year-old I know like knows the Nun, the movie.
Yeah.
It's like watching Coraline with people sewing buttons on the eyes. Like, yeah, they're little freaks, so they know
the
what's up.
6-year-olds are experimenting with cursing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we cut to later that night. We see that their apartment, like an exterior, that they're like very high up on like the top floor. And Maggie's kind of like watching TV and reading a book while Andy's sleeping. Andy's bedroom door like slowly creeps open, and we have this like low POV, like Mike Myers style, where you're seeing out of his eyes. Except for being slow like Mike Myers, this one's pretty fast.
It's so quick, and that was scary.
Which is, I haven't seen that as much. You definitely see like a slow kind of like menacing all the time, but a little like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Chucky POV and like just the little like glimpses of it
yeah.
were definitely really creepy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, like the corner of your eye kind of
Mhm.
stuff in this one.
yeah, the first time when you just see like the back of his head, like
Yeah.
as he's like running past.
Ugh.
Yeah, they do a great job of not like showing him in his like kind of killer Chucky form until like way later in the movie.
Yeah.
So Maggie like hears something that's skittering down the hall but doesn't see anything. She goes around looking for Chucky. We see the little POV kind of like pull over a stool and like grab something. And then Maggie ends up in the kitchen and notices that like a can has been knocked over and there's like a trail of white flour, I'm assuming, or sugar, something like that, all over the ground. Then ring, it's the phone. Hello, Big Meow. Mom is just calling. Karen is calling to check on what's up. And Maggie's kind of like chills out, like, oh, like I'm just getting, what did she say? A bit of the alone at night willies.
Yeah.
I thought that was a silly way to say it. But she's good. Yeah, tell her boss to fuck off for me. And she hangs up. And then we see there's a bunch of tools on the ground. Or no, we just see a bunch of tools, like a quick shot of them. Maggie is cleaning up the floor and notices that there's like a plant that's slightly tilted. So she picks it up quick and nothing's behind it. She puts it down like, oh God, like I'm in my silly little head, turns around, and just gets a hammer right to the eyeball.
Yeah, to the to the
is
forehead.
flung backwards and falls out the window of this like 7-story apartment building.
Yeah.
I would hate
And
that.
hits a car. It's like a truck.
Damages property.
Yeah, well, they don't explore that enough.
Yeah.
Having the guy
That's
who
in the
struck that
sequel.
one.
That's right. One of her neighbors.
Yeah.
The cops are there, and he's like, "Who's gonna do something about my
Hey, my
car?"
fucking truck! I gotta work tomorrow.
Oh my god. So mom gets home, she sees all these cop cars outside, she's running upstairs, cops all over her apartment. She's like screaming for Andy. None of the cops introduce themselves.
One
say
is
what's
like
going
sitting on the
on.
couch.
They're all like looking at her like, oh man.
Yeah.
There's like 20 of them there. Yeah, nobody helped.
Like it didn't occur to any of these guys that like we should see if this kid has a guardian.
Yeah.
Probably they assume that maybe like Maggie's his mom or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But,
yeah.
it doesn't seem like they're in any hurry to like find anyone.
Oh yeah, well they're in.
Kid, yeah.
So my Detective Norris is in the room with Andy, kind of starting a little interrogation with him, which I think is illegal when you're a minor, right?
Yeah, dude.
Maybe not in the 80s.
Definitely fucking inappropriate.
Yeah.
No matter what. Yeah.
So the detective sees Karen and is like, "Can I talk to you outside?" Andy's like hugging Chucky, and they're both kind of like watching the convo. And Mike fills her in on everything that's happened with Maggie. He brings her to the kitchen and shows her like tiny footprints that are on the table in the flour. And the mom is instantly like, "What are you implying?"
Yeah, no way are those a 6-year-old's footprints.
No.
You know what I mean? like if the kid's if he's supposed to be, if the kid's supposed to be 3 or 4, like maybe his feet are that tiny.
Yeah.
They're really little.
They're doll feet.
Yeah.
Like they
detective.
like how come his first thought isn't, oh, the kid was walking the doll around?
Yeah. Well, the detective even checks his feet, notices that there's no flour. Mom is pissed off and is essentially like, "You guys all have to go." And then they're like, "Okay," and just drop this
End of
murder.
investigation.
End of like researching this crime scene. They all just kind of get up and start to leave. In the bedroom, Andy notices flour on the bottom of Chucky's shoes. So he runs out to tell his mom and Detective Norris, I know who it was. Yeah. And yeah, he catches Detective Norris right before he's about to leave. So he tells them that, but like nobody's really believing him. It's like, "Oh, a doll. Yeah, sure." And then they're supposed to be.
That's what they all said.
Yeah, that's what they all
Sure,
said.
kid, it was the doll.
Heard it 1,000 times.
Yeah, the detective really thinks Andy did something.
Yeah. Andy the Strangler.
Yeah.
As Detective Norris is leaving, he's kind of says to the mom, like, "So you're gonna come if something comes up, right?" And they're supposed to be like, or at least I think, some kind of sexual chemistry between them, but I don't feel it at all.
Yeah, it feels like, and I think there's other parts of the movie where it felt like this to me, but like there's like a way longer cut. Child's Play somewhere.
Yeah.
Like it feels like there's a lot of stuff that got
a lot of
left out.
romance, just a really hardcore sex scene between the mom and this detective.
Yeah. Extremely graphic.
Chucky's watching.
Chucky's out under the bed.
It's like, it's just a doll.
Doll.
In fact.
Oh my god.
Oh, and he says, "Oh yeah, call me because I don't like loose ends."
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He says that.
Yeah.
So then outside, the detective is talking to his partner, and he has like the little good guy hammer, and he's like, "This might have been the murder weapon." And the partner's like, not like, "Oh, you must be joking, like it's a kid's toy." So no one's quite taking Chucky seriously, this theory that he somehow is involved seriously. We cut to Mom hears like Andy talking to someone in his bedroom, and she goes in, and she's kind of like, "What's Chucky been saying? Like, or you guys are talking to each other?" And then the kid says his real name is Charles Lee Ray. He was sent down from heaven by Daddy to play with me, which is that's really intense. for
Yeah,
a
it's
kid to-
fucked up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he says, also, Aunt Maggie was a real bitch and she got what she deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it's again. I guess it's different in 1988. But today you take your kid to the doctor for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like there's something.
You're like, we gotta go talk to somebody about this.
Oh,
He
yeah.
yells at him instead, I think in true 1988
Mhm.
fashion.
She basically says, drop it. Like,
Yeah.
don't talk about this anymore. And he goes, okay, sure.
Well,
it
then he
didn't
goes like,
happen."
well, you're yelling at me because of Aunt Maggie. And she's like, you know what, I am. So this kid is like so emotionally mature and his mom's like
But
yelling at him.
In this
only in that
moment,
respect.
yeah.
Yeah, just
Other
this
than that, he's way
this
behind.
one moment.
If his father suddenly passed away, maybe that would cause him to be.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
come on. This movie has layers.
Yeah, and I guess he's obsessed with a show that seemingly is about like a best friend descends down from heaven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. He did. So mom, I think is feeling a little bad after she freaks and she's like, do you want to sleep in bed with me tonight? And he's basically like, no, I have Chucky now. And then mom leaves and Andy to Chucky, you're right, Chucky. She didn't believe me. And then Chucky's just like, hi, I like to be hugged. And again, in that like, he's
He
not.
sees the shadow under the door of the mom's feet. So he's like, I hug you. Like, he's doing like the little fake doll stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's dolling it up for the mom.
Yeah.
We cut to mom walking Andy to school. Andy has Chucky with him, but a couple of other kids do too. So we see like this is a popular doll, and that's not that uncommon. Mom sees him off. She leaves, and then Andy sneaks out of school with Chucky, which is very scary.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like crazy that like a kid that small, like a kid that young,
Just
is
leaves
just able to
school.
like dip out like that. Like there's nobody watching the door. There's not like a hall monitor or like a
Well,
safety
maybe
or,
maybe
like,
they just thought he was going out for a cigarette.
It was the 80s.
Yeah.
yeah, Andy Barkley. Yeah, you
Andy.
stepped out for a small
Sure,
shirt.
yeah. Andy, little guy, right? No bigger than a pickle on a hot dog.
Him and Chucky hop on the L train together, and they're kind of like whispering. Which the L train is great in Chicago. They have great public transportation.
How long were you in Chicago for? A month? 2 months?
Just like a summer, yeah. When I
Okay.
did the like an improv intensive thing there.
That's cool. The only time you went to Chicago was when we went, right?
Yeah.
We did an improv thing. Yeah, it was fun. We saw the bean.
Saw the bean.
Saw the bean.
That's basically all you.
Yeah.
Saw the bean. Had a really thick pizza.
yeah. Went to sleep.
Those pizzas will knock you out.
It's crazy.
They're
really are crazy.
they're tranquilizers.
Yeah.
Just like, you have a slice.
It's
of
for
them.
the winters. They want you to like fucking
To sleep through it.
People
yeah.
have asked me to get it with them for like
hibernate.
lunch, and I'm like, no, that's a dinner meal, probably only at your home because you have to immediately
It's a brick
pass
of
out.
cheese.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's a full brick.
it's yummy, but it's too much.
yeah.
And the crust is like buttery. It's like
Yeah.
Starved.
decadent.
I am so hungry. Let's go get one.
So Andy gets off at a stop and he walks through like what looks like a pretty rough neighborhood and kind of sees like there's like abandoned lots with like trash. We see like a kind of house, like a standalone on its own. Again, doesn't look all that great, pretty much abandoned. Andy has to take a pee because he's 6 and
yeah.
they gotta pee all the
Yeah,
time.
he's gonna go.
He puts Chucky on a little, just like abandoned rocking chair, goes over away from him to pee, doesn't
Yeah.
want the doll to see.
Of course, yeah.
We get then a POV shot of just Chucky running towards like up into the abandoned house.
Yeah.
Andy continues to take the longest.
Andrew's making me laugh because it's like when Andy comes back to the empty chair, he goes, "Oh, sorry, I had to shit too." Because he like took forever.
I will say, like having some experience as being a little boy, just out and about. And
Yeah,
you
in the world.
you find somewhere private to do it. Unless
Yeah,
you're a fucking weird kid.
unless you're just out there with the
The doll
pulling your
isn't
shirt up.
oh, it's all private. There's no one there. It's a
Yeah.
doll.
But he
no,
but
the
it's a doll
talks
that talks
to
to
him.
That's
him.
true. That's true. You're right. You're right.
He did, and he kisses him.
And we never see. I liked this device that they had in it, where we never see those conversations that they
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
So we're right now on the side of the detective and the mom, where it's like, obviously, if you see the trailer,
And it's
but
relatable because you're, little kids talk
kids
to
are
their
just
toys
making
and
up shit.
they're just making stuff
Little
up.
liars. Inside of the house, we see the door, the abandoned house. We see the door like open with little fingers. Again, we're not seeing like his full form when he's out and about.
Yeah.
He goes to a stove, opens it up with his little hands, and like turns the knob and turns it on. The person who's
Turns
in
on
the
the
house,
gas.
I'm guessing this is
Eddie
Eddie Caputo has escaped.
Yeah.
Is what we learned from the
Yeah,
news
yeah.
reports earlier. So this was their hideout, and this is why Chucky has taken Andy there. Eddie Caputo wakes up, has a gun right next to him. You have a baseball bat by the bed.
Yeah, I'd probably just get killed with it if I ever had to. I don't know what I would do with it.
It's kind of behind stuff too. I feel like you would be like fumbling.
I
for
could
it.
probably get it.
That's-
Hold on.
I feel like
Hold
Poppy
on.
would bark enough. Nobody's coming in here. I don't know.
Famous
know why I
last
have it.
words.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like make sure that
Yeah, any creeps who want to come, we have 40 guns and we know how to shoot them all at once.
They're all ready to go.
they showed this on the news before the like announcement that I got murdered.
2 idiots died.
2 idiots hit
And they
themselves
had
in the head with a baseball
A
bat.
strangler.
2 idiots killed by a little boy. as you can tell.
Yeah,
Eddie
little
Caputo,
boy in custody.
Eddie Caputo's going around with the gun. He sees like a figure go past a window. He points the gun at it, and it's Andy, which that part did make me go, I don't want a gun pointed at our little boy.
No.
He's still going through the house looking for this noise. He hears something behind the kitchen door. He opens it up and shoots a bullet right into the oven. Second giant explosion of the film.
This one
we did-
takes the house.
Yeah, we did see Chucky like put out the pilot light
Yeah.
and the
Oh,
stove
yes.
and like turn the gas on.
Yeah.
It's like presumably the gas has been building up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I question how airtight the house is.
Yeah.
House, yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
it's pretty
holy-
fucking ramshackle. It's they must have been like, we're gonna demolish a house. You guys can come film it. If you can be here by 3:00, you can
Bring
get
your
the shot.
freaking little doll with you.
Yeah, so they had the the house like fully exploded. It was great.
More
So-
explosions in this film than you would think.
Yeah.
way more voodoo in this movie than you'd think.
Than I'd care for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We than I ever wanted. Cut to mom at the police station. The detective Norris is already there. Like, have you picked up your son yet? But the detective knows the son is already there, and the detective's partner is kind of like interrogating him, and Chucky's like in a chair next to him, so they're both being
Yeah,
interrogated.
you should
Yeah.
separate them.
I know, and Chucky told
Yeah. Chucky said you did it.
Yeah, there's like interview room footage just of like a guy talking to this doll. The doll's like, "What can I say? She was a bitch. She deserved what."
You had it coming. Got a cigarette?
Yeah, he really does kill her for no reason.
Well,
Yeah.
because she's for no reason. Yeah, he's just
She's a bitch who deserved it.
Well, like even before, like she kind of scolds Andy a bit before she's angry when she's just putting him to bed. She kind of like yanks the doll around.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. She was messing with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like carelessly, like carrying it by the hand, he kind of bashes into like the door jam and
yeah,
shit.
like Bob's
You
the
think she
cat.
deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. No.
No, okay. We heard you. We heard you. Loud and clear. So Andy is telling the officer Maggie fell out the window because Chucky scared her so much, and mom like rushes in and is basically like, Andy, you have to like tell us the truth. Like, stop saying all this Chucky
Or they're
stuff.
gonna take you away.
Nobody believes you, or they're gonna take you away.
Yeah.
And so Andy then is begging Chucky, like, please say something right now. And he's shaking Chucky.
Chucky, come on, for the love of God.
Yeah. I mean, this kid, as we've learned, have we learned at this point, has lost his dad.
Yes.
Yeah,
So yeah, I guess the idea of being taken away from his mom is like the most terrifying.
yeah. It's
Aw.
so
Probably second most
sad.
terrifying after a killer.
Yeah.
That's the scariest.
Close
I-
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did lock yourself in the bathroom during
Dude.
this.
I was fucking scared as shit of Chucky.
How was this viewing? You weren't so.
Oh, it's fine.
You're
it's
fine.
It's sort of just stupid and disgusting to me. I don't know how scared I was of Chucky.
As a kid? As
Yeah.
a kid, I was scared of him. Sure. I was scared. I was like, man, my toys are alive.
I think all the time I was introduced, he was such like a jokester and a silly guy that
I
he was
guess
more
so.
like he did bad things, but he was more of a goofball.
The thing I remember is from Chucky, probably Chucky 2 or 3, and the VHS cover had him with like a Jack in the Box.
Two.
Yeah, and he's got the like shears, and he's gonna like cut the Jack in the Box neck.
Oh no.
Shut.
Andy is like punching Chucky, trying to get him to talk. It doesn't work. And then so just a random doctor is just in the corner, like, I think it's time to bring Andy to the insane asylum.
Lock him up.
Because-
Chicago not house for psycho kids.
Truly would not be an 80s horror movie if there were not unhoused people being vilified and somebody going to a
Somebody
psych
going,
ward
yeah.
for barely
To a
anything.
poorly lit insane asylum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with like bars.
Yeah.
Like, he's in a cell.
And
Yeah.
bars with no window pane.
This will make him be a good
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bars exposed to the open air, open Chicago air.
Jesus
With, like
Christ.
snow on the ground.
Yeah.
We cut to the house and mom is there with Chucky. I probably would have went to the kids asylum and just been with my son, but she
I
knows
just,
home.
I just wanted to go.
Well, she has to go. She has to go work at the jewelry counter.
That's
so.
true.
She's like, my manager's a real piece of work.
She brings the Chucky doll home with her. And she's kind of staring at him, doing the same thing Andy was, like, just say something, you little bastard. And Chucky's just in his like doll voice, hi, I like to be hugged. Mom is losing it. She goes into the kitchen and sees his box. Maybe there's some type of clue or something there, picks it up, and out of the bottom falls batteries.
2 huge batteries.
Yeah.
Humongous.
2 E batteries.
Yeah.
They're like 2 grenades.
There was no way your dad had these in the house ready to go. That was such a big thing on Christmas, was like opening the toys and then
Not having batteries.
having to hand it to your dad to get the back, because there were always like screws too that you'd have to unscrew. And then if you had the right battery, and if you didn't, you had to wait to play with your friggin' toy.
It's a nightmare.
Not
It's
in my
a
house.
nightmare. Not your house.
We had wooden toys only.
So now mom is looks at the box, batteries included. She's like, oh, is there batteries in this doll? This part is kind of creepy. She like slowly walks up to it, picks him up, like turns him over and like lifts up his back to see if it has any batteries
Yeah.
inside. Of course he doesn't.
No.
Then Chucky, hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play? And mom screams and throws us to the ground. Chucky rolls under the couch.
Yeah.
Mom gets down and like slowly, anything where something's like under a couch or like bed or something,
Yeah.
that freaked the shit out of me.
Very
as a kid.
scary. Yeah.
And you would have to like peek underneath to see. And she like peeks under the couch and does see Chucky just lying there. She like grabs him and slowly pulls him, picks him up. Seems like he's not, maybe she was just imagining things.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like shaking him again. Talk to me, damn it. He won't. She goes to the fireplace where there's like a gate on it, moves the gate over, and almost like forces like is like threatening, like, I'm gonna burn you alive if you don't
yeah,
say
turn it on
something
the
right now.
fire.
Yeah. She's like, I said, talk to me. And then Chucky is like, you stupid bitch, you filthy slag. And like just goes at her and attacks her. Which, have you seen the scene in Spanish?
Yeah. I did
It's
see it.
so
It was like
funny.
going around on Instagram. This
There's
clip
just like
and
a clip where he says
he's
those
like
lines.
cursing her out in Spanish. It's just funny. It's like even funnier than it already is.
Like up to this point, so like until now, it's not been like explicitly shown that like Chucky's alive.
Yeah.
Like even the little glimpses, like because Andy dresses just like him, it's like conceivable that it's still Andy up until like it's like you stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Like up until then, I'm like on this viewing, I was like kind of nervous about like the reveal of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because all like the POV stuff is like nicely creepy.
Yeah.
But like just remembering the movie, knowing about it, I'm like, I know that eventually Stoll's gonna like have a nasty face and he's gonna sound like Brad Dorff.
They do a great
yeah.
job with his facial features. It's almost like when he finally has the Brad Dourif voice, like he has more muscles in his face that you can like see more of it moving in a more animated way.
Yeah.
And it's definitely like watching it now. No, it's not. It's like
he does become less scary, I think, when this iteration comes
for
to
sure,
life.
for sure. When when you're seeing it, but yeah, definitely like man, being a little kid watching that, it was too much.
Oh,
And him like having the voice and like the like the human
the
like
angry face
specifically. Yeah.
yeah.
It's so funny how little, because I mean, you know, it becomes crazy, but it's a pretty subtle change. And the animatronic that they have is really good. Like it really does feel like it could be both things. And I think like as people, like just people recognizing your like facial features and stuff, even that little change really can freak you out so much.
Yeah. Like he's alive in a different way.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Chucky ends up biting the mom on the arm and then like runs down the hall. The mom is chasing her, and in their hall of the building, there's like this really cool like old fashioned elevator that's right in the middle with like the grates that you can see, and like the stairs go around it. So he's in the elevator kind of going down as she's trying to chase it to catch up with it.
Yeah.
But by the time she's out in the street, Chucky's gone, nowhere to be seen. We cut to the mom. Now she's outside of the police station. She runs into Detective Norris and is explaining everything that just happened with Chucky, but the detective isn't buying it.
Like at this point, like in their first interaction, like when Maggie is killed, like sure, just like him not noticing the doll, I can get.
Yeah.
But but then like Andy showing up with the doll where like Eddie Caputo is killed.
And he was
And,
killed
like-
under a pile of them.
Yeah, and like you watched like this guy's partner screaming vengeance.
Yeah.
Like I'll get you and Eddie. Doing some weird incantation on a pile of these specific dolls.
Yeah.
Just before the building is struck by eldritch lightning that causes it to explode. And then that same fucking doll shows up at a second murder.
Yeah.
Like
he might not be a good detective.
like I'm not saying he has to like jump to the conclusion the doll's alive. but like there's he doesn't notice it at all.
He doesn't write it down.
Like here's writing.
Yeah.
There's got to be like missing stuff of the detective.
Yeah.
I think you're being generous. I think
Like-
it's just poorly written. There's got to be on the floor something.
He only
that
became
ties
a cop
this all
because he was so
together.
hot.
Yeah,
Police
he's
chief was like,
busy shopping,
"That's
dressing, getting his hair to a beautiful like coif.
Yeah.
Just like spraying a cloud of cologne and walking through it.
He is gorgeous. If honestly, he probably just made it up the ranks because he's so hot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like detective now because they were like, I can't say no to this guy.
Yeah. Are you gonna say no?
Yeah.
I'm not. Lying isn't gonna help your son. Mom shows him the mouth mark on Chucky, which I don't know if someone showed me a bite on their head if I'd be like,
What
well,
is
it
that?
must have been a doll.
That is doll sized, yeah.
So mom decides she's just gonna kind of take care of this herself. She's gonna go find the peddler who sold her the doll in the first place. And the detective is like, no, don't go in that part of town at night, because it's bad.
Yeah.
She walks down the steamiest street in all of Chicago. She's asking everyone around, have you seen this person? She finally finds him in like an encampment where a bunch of unhoused people are. And he's really creepy to her. He's basically like, oh, I'll tell you, but what am I going to get out of it? Goes to sexually assault her, which but just wasn't necessary. I know we're supposed to see this as like a seedy area and he's not a nice guy. You know, I didn't.
We've
need
established
this.
that he's maybe an unsavory character when he's selling, like,
Yeah, Swears doesn't bother me.
Yeah, to go from selling stolen dolls to like
yeah.
time to me and my 12 friends to surround you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get why they did it.
Well, because they want this detective, which
To
then he
show
does
up.
to show up. Still looking so cozy. Just
He's got like a nice scarf on at this point.
yeah.
Cozy as hell.
It's like, sorry I'm late. I had to get changed.
So my nighttime look. He is able to get information out of this guy, and the guy tells him, I found the doll in a burnt down toy store. And Norris has this like knowing look. Now he's finally piecing together what Andrew thought he should have known hours ago.
Or at least should have like noticed, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Because it would be if lightning struck you, it would be the most memorable thing that ever happened.
Well, it barely struck him.
well,
Not him,
But
it
I
blew
mean,
up an entire building.
if it struck in front of you and
Yeah.
and there was a giant explosion and it was during a gun chase, like a fucking,
and
shoot off.
and like the spell he's doing, like the incantation or whatever, it wasn't short or quiet.
No, no.
Like he's like screaming,
yeah.
like, and he sees it.
Yeah.
Again, just like to not notice the doll. You know what I mean? Like it's hard for me to buy that. Like not even in a way that like, oh, there must be a connection. Not even that. Forgiving that entirely.
Yeah.
But like it seems like the doll would freak him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
Say something.
he's
about it.
hunting down.
Like, I hate those dolls.
The mom can sense that he knows something he's not saying, and she basically gets out of him. I was there that night when lightning struck the toy store and killed Charles Lee Ray dead. And she's like, why didn't you tell me? So she's also like, come on, be a better cop now. We cut to a car, he's driving her home. And she is essentially trying to push him, like, are you going to look more into this? And even then, Poppy
kill.
This is her new thing now, is
Kill.
attacking our guests.
You can push her away.
It's okay.
You can push her out the window. Sit
Throw
there,
you-
bud.
I'm gonna throw you in the fireplace.
Yeah. She's like, I'd like to see you try, you son of a bitch.
The mom is like, okay, what are we going to do next? Are we going to go check out Ray's place? And he's like, I already checked there. There's nothing there. And she's just like begging him, like, please do something. You said you don't like loose ends. And he just like drives off.
Yeah.
I like them sometimes.
Yeah.
Not on my sweaters and not on my cases.
We see the detective Norris is leaving the station with a file. He's like smoking a cigarette in his car, and he's like driving very like detective-y at night. And then a little head pops up from his back seat, pulls like some wires around, and like goes
I guess his
around
jumper
his throat,
cables?
his jumper cables.
He is like garroting him with.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Chucky. We got Chucky with Norris around his neck. He's strangling him. Good night, asshole. Like,
Yeah,
he's got a lot
good night,
of just
asshole.
stupid little silly one-liners.
You
Because
cool?
the detective was smoking, and because it's the 80s, of course, he was doing it with one of those little like circle push-in car lighters.
Yeah.
So the detective grabs that, gets Chucky in the face with it. I loved this part. From the back seat, then Chucky starts like stabbing towards the front, and
yeah,
the
with
knife
kitchen
like
knife.
goes through.
And under.
Terrifying.
And the
He's like,
detective is
"Ah!"
still driving during all of
I
this,
know.
like in busy Chicago traffic. I thought this sequence was really fun.
Yeah, that was really good.
He hits a barrel fire.
Yep.
The car.
They're just
Well, how do you
rampant.
not?
Yeah, they're riddled all over the streets of Chicago. The car flips upside down. The detective is like on the ground, and Chucky kind of pops out of now like the floor, which is the roof, and has, I think, a knife with him.
Yeah, yeah, he's got his knife.
And he runs around like the outside of the car, taunting Detective Norris. And Norris is like in the car trapped, like shooting him at different like points as he's going by, like the little like duck at like at a carnival thing. Chucky like bursts through the window to go and stab Norris, but Norris shoots him in the chest, and Chucky like flings backwards slow-mo style.
What was so funny, like each time Chucky got shot and like reacted to getting shot, it was so comical.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so silly. Yeah. And this slow-mo, like, whoa. It's like, oh my God.
That's the most like playing. That's the most like, you know, like if you're like a little kid playing, you're like,
or it's like a scene that would be with like Stallone or Schwarzenegger or something.
Yeah.
They're like it
it's
felt very
so
action.
dramatic.
Yeah. You know, but it's a little Chucky.
Yeah.
Then Norris passes out. We cut to Mom, and she is now at Ray's house, and this is just a pervert's paradise. There's like all little what did you say? Living in a pervert's paradise.
I'm working the bar at Pervert's Paradise today. I'm gonna be late.
I make no money.
I don't make a lot.
These pervs are cheap. There's
like sexy little dolls and like cutouts of like porno pages and
and
there's also a lot of art. There's
well,
a
yeah.
mural.
So he's got a sensitive side.
Yeah.
That's a sensitive side. There's like very like racist depictions of like voodoo stuff and like a mural of this black man on the wall. There's
He's like a voodoo priest. He's like got the full like hat and like the whole garb.
Then we see Mom looking at this, and there's a figure behind her, which is supposed to be like menacing, but I see the coif. I know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
It's Norris. He shows her the file on Ray, the one he had grabbed from the station earlier. And he's like, Ray spent a lot of time with this man, John. And John in the picture is the same as the mural of the man on the wall. We cut to John's house. John's like cooking up some lunch, and Chucky's in the window.
He's like getting a cup of tea.
Yeah. Okay, well, he's a light lunch. I don't know.
I don't mean to say it like that.
Drinking tea. He wasn't eating a sandwich.
What lunch did you see? What fucking movie were you watching?
I was just saying, like, I was saying it in a way because he's very normal. It's like
he's normal.
Literally painted as this like voodoo priest that
he's just a guy. Yeah.
Charles is like bowing down to and like genuflecting towards, you know. And then he's in his apartment and he's just making tea. I wasn't like, you idiot.
Yeah. It is revealed that he's called Chucky because his name was Charles and Chucky was his nickname. Honestly, it kind of, because I kept writing it down as Ray, so it only hit me now. Like,
oh my God, that reveal was
like the Sixth Sense.
Yeah. Oh,
the way like Chucky kind of like way he talks and the way he presents it, like specifically where he like confronts John, like substance like, "Hey, John."
Yeah.
It's so like actiony cop movie, mob movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it feels weird with like the doll aspect.
Yeah. The tone is it's like sometimes a detective movie, sometimes an action movie, sometimes a horror.
I love it though. I think that's
it's basically Cleaver.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait a minute. It is.
It's incredible.
I should have worn my Cleaver shirt. So we learn that John has taught Chucky all about how to cheat death. And Chucky's asking, like, why am I able to feel these like bullets now? And if I'm a doll, and John says, like, you're turning human, and the more time you spend in this doll body, the more human it's going to become, and like the more pain you'll feel. And he realizes not only is he going to be stuck in this body, but that he could die. Like, he's not going to live forever. He's not cheating death. And John is like, you perverted what I taught you.
Yeah.
Which is
what were the noble intentions?
Cheating death.
I'm trying to take over body real quick.
You're supposed to use it for good.
Yeah. Other than that, like, because like when we were watching it, like after like once Chucky like escapes like from Karen, I remember thinking like, well, well, kind of problem solved for her and Ann.
Yeah,
Not the legal aspect of her, but like,
Yeah, now her son's behind bars.
but I was thinking,
Same
like,
problem.
but like, yeah, what reason would Chucky have for like coming after the kid
Yeah.
at this point?
Yeah.
And like, I was pretty satisfied by like that explanation of like, why is he feeling pain,
Yeah.
and why does he need to go after Andy again?
Yeah, that's enough for me.
And he seems to
Yeah.
be getting around town fine without being seen without Andy. So he didn't really even need him to take him to Eddie Caputo's.
Yeah.
There's some holes
in the middle of the
story.
day.
In the middle. You're right.
You know, he couldn't wait. He didn't want to wait to kill Eddie.
Chucky reveals that he has a doll of John, and he like kind of uses it as a voodoo doll to like break his legs, and he's trying to get him like, how can I get out of this? Like, tell me the answer. And John's like trying to resist, but he's then in too much pain and ultimately
He's like, I should have never made that voodoo doll of me.
And then told you where it was. Told you, a murderer, where it was.
And he explains you have to transfer your soul out of the doll to the first person you revealed your secret to. Because
I love that as
enough.
as a magic.
Yeah.
I think that works.
Yeah, it's enough for me.
Feels a little convenient, but okay. So of course we know that this is Andy. We cut to Mom and Norris. Now they're going to John's house. But John is on the ground bleeding out. He only has like a little bit life left in him. And he explains, that your son is in danger. You have to like shoot Chucky in the heart or like get him in the heart in order to destroy him before he's able to switch. I have a backstory too.
Yeah. I got things going on.
Yeah, I wanted to know more about this guy too. Like,
yeah, as a voodoo guy in Chicago, like what's he up to?
Yeah. I gotta read the book that this is.
Yeah, you'll have to read the.
It just feels so out of nowhere.
The 3-part novel series. Yeah.
We cut to Chucky is climbing like the outside stairs of the child psych ward.
Dude, this specifically of any image in the movie was like the most like haunting to me and stuck with
seeing
me,
him from far away.
Like seeing him coming up the stairs.
Oh
like,
God,
outside.
Yeah.
Like kind of like that same, and like it wasn't like years later to like remember It Follows.
Oh yeah,
like, it kind of like played on that same thing, like something about like it being far away,
but it's coming together.
You see this little in like the corner of the shot.
It's really good,
and they do a good job of like having sometimes there's like a person who is actually like dressed as Chucky and being Chucky, and then sometimes it's the puppet, which I'm sure was really cool to film. Andy's in his room screaming, help me, help me. The doctor just leaves. Andy's crying, which made me really sad.
Yeah.
Chucky sees the keys on an orderly's desk, is able to steal them away because he's rocking out on his CD player, or I guess cassette.
His
Walkman. Chucky opens the door to Andy's room, sees a lump in the bed, goes over, pulls it open. It's a pillow. Andy is running away. The orderlies are chasing Andy, and Andy hides in this like surgical medical room. Somehow Chucky is already in there, jumps from the ceiling onto Andy. Andy gets a scalpel and like is putting himself in a corner and trying to like protect himself. And he just looks like a little marshmallow.
It's so sad.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Such a cute little guy.
Yeah.
He even like trips over.
Yeah, he trips over like an IV stand or something, and then he's like bumping it. He's like, oh.
A hand grabs him. It's the doctor. The doctor has a needle and wants to sedate him. I hate anything where doctors are coming at kids. And doing things like against the kid's will. That's so sick.
Yeah, and a kid who has at least been present for 2 murders the past day.
Yeah.
Isn't that such a bit?
It's now screaming that someone's coming to kill us.
I know. Better sedate.
Yeah, they're like, knock this kid out. He's
this
losing
fucking
it.
irritating kid.
Chucky almost
next time, kid.
Yeah. Chucky stabs the doctor behind the kneecap, which I hate that.
Yeah.
That and like behind the ankle. Puts one of those like electrode things on his
You're
head.
doing all with murder things to me.
Like strangles him in the back of the car. Then like shoots his head off.
Punches him in the face. Has that on the doctor's head, which why they even have this at the hospital.
Execute psycho kids.
This
Yeah,
doctor
yeah.
was kind of getting what was coming to him.
They still do
Electroshock therapy. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. That seems wrong.
It does seem wrong.
Maybe it works for someone. I don't know enough
They
about
still
it, but
do
it
it.
seems
They do it now. It's crazy.
awful.
I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy.
Chucky turns it on high.
It's not,
The doctor's face is it turns gray, blood oozing out. Kait said it smells like hot dogs. We cut to Mom and Norris. At this point now, Mom and Norris just show up after someone has just been in a scene. So someone does the scene and then Mom and Norris show up and are just too late. Andy's escaped. And then the mom realizes like, oh, I told Andy like if he's ever scared to go home. So let's go back to the house. We cut to Andy in the apartment. He's like closing up kind of the front door with a bunch of stuff to shelter himself in. Chucky is like sitting in the elevator just as a doll, unanimated. And an old couple is in there and it's like, ugly doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like all like the burn on his face.
Yeah, he's
In
not
the
a
Yeah,
good
he's
looking
like
guy.
a worse for wear. Yeah. He's not mint condition anymore. He's not gonna be worth anything. Andy is hiding in the closet, which the closet reminded me of the one in Halloween with like the little shutter doors on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of see through. And there's some other toys in there that are nice ones, not bothering me.
Not murderers.
Chucky then he can't get through the front door because Andy's blocked it off. So he comes down the chimney and you see like his little puppet legs like land. And it's
Yeah.
very cute.
Yeah, it's like a Kermit the Frog kind of effect.
Yeah, whenever you see the Muppets like walking, I love that. He walks down the hall with a knife. Andy has like a bat ready to protect himself. And Chucky like just comes around the corner and is like, ah, surprise! Which I thought maybe could have been a better line. No? Good as this. Chucky chases Andy. And then Chucky hits Andy in the back with the bat. Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom and the detective are able to make it into the apartment. Chucky has already he's starting the ceremony to be able to switch their bodies. We see like the clouds coming overhead in the apartment, similar to the beginning. Lightning is striking down. Give me the power, I beg of you. They're like outside the door trying to get in. They're finally able to like bust it down. Chucky attacks Karen and Norris and like he gets him in the leg. Norris in the leg.
Yeah, he stabs him with the voodoo knife.
Yes. Karen is with Andy while Norris goes after Chucky and he's kind of limping. In the bedroom, he checks under the bed. Chucky's not there. Then Chucky just jumps out of the bathroom with a bat. The mom has a gun and shoots Chucky in the knee, which we were clearly told heart.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
Maybe it's your first time.
And
She's
he's
not
a
the best
doll.
name. He's a doll.
Yeah,
he's
he's
tiny.
little. Yeah.
Now Chucky is on top of her. They're kind of like wrestling, and she manages to throw him in the fireplace and gets that gate, the fire gate, puts it in front of it. So he's like locked behind it, like
Him raging behind the fire is creepy.
Really scared.
it is pretty because he's just relentless too, like
Yeah.
nonstop. Mom's reaching for matches on the top. They all fall over. Andy's just staring at the whole thing happening because he's sick. She would be freaking out.
Yeah.
He finally like grabs a match and lights it. And Chucky's like, Andy, please, we're friends to the end, remember? And he says, this is the end. And lights Chucky on fire.
Friend.
Chucky-
Yeah. Like the lines too. Like I don't know. I don't buy this kid.
He grew up a lot over the last 2 days. you know?
Yeah.
But he didn't watch enough movies. He didn't watch enough TV to
have a
able to come up
one-liner?
with
With a sick one-liner.
like if that was me, oh
Yeah.
oh yeah.
6-year-old Andrew. I do believe that. You're like, what?
I watched everything with Schwarzenegger.
I
Like,
enjoyed
chill
it.
out.
Yeah. Chucky is lit on fire, running around the house. He goes on the couch. The couch doesn't catch flame because it's fire resistant, just riddled with cancerous chemicals.
Mm.
Chucky has
The
burned.
scariest part of the movie.
Yeah, this is bad.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
It is.
Chucky burns to a crisp. He's just like all black and charred. You can still see like his eyeballs and his teeth and some of the like robot, like almost bone structure is coming through. Very like Terminator.
Yeah, it's cool.
Norris is like calling for help. So Andy goes and gets the first aid kit. He walks back. Chucky is gone.
Yeah.
So Andy kind of starts running. He knows something's wrong and he's tripped by a foot. And we see now the all burnt up Chucky. And he goes after Andy with a knife. Andy is able to like escape with his mom in a room and they're both hiding in the bathroom. And then this moment, Chucky starts stabbing the bathroom door with the knife, like going through, and the mom's face is like right next to it, and she's just like screaming.
Yeah, this is like the Shining bathroom scene.
Yeah.
Like even before that, like I was getting like this isn't in the movie, but in the novel The Shining, like there's a point where Jack's like his like face is all mangled up, and he's like going after Danny.
Yeah.
So even that too, still like was just reminded me of The Shining.
Does Stephen King have like a haunted doll story that you can think of?
I don't think I can think of offhand.
Yeah, he does like other inanimate objects, but not doll.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Car.
Cars all the time. A bunch with cars.
More
Yes,
than just
more-
Christine.
There's a bunch with evil cars.
There's Carol.
There's trucks.
oh, he does have an evil train.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
Playing the Mono.
Yeah.
There's like this short story called Trucks, where every car and plane and stuff comes alive.
I can't believe you didn't pick a Stephen King movie because you've read every single Stephen King book.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I did. Like I was like thinking about for that reason.
Yeah.
Doing a Stephen King adaptation.
Well, we
but,
could
like,
just do another one.
But this is like, but like is in like my relationship with horror movies. This is like a significant one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I'm
this
glad
is-
you picked this.
This was the first movie that I was scared of, and it's like of movies that I have been, because it wasn't the only movie I was ever afraid of.
Yeah,
But none of them ever approached
this is number one.
like how much I was
Yeah.
terrified of.
You know what I mean? That's why I picked the Hellraiser one.
Yeah,
It's our first one. I think it's that one where the first imagery, you're just like, that is this. Nothing will be scarier than that. And now to watch it as an adult, and you're like,
I love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like watching this now, I'm like, oh, I see why I was scared of it as a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's so scary.
Mom and Andy are able to escape the bathroom. They're like running down the hall. The crispy Chucky body is following them. Mom is now shooting at the doll, and she shoots everything but the heart. She
Yeah.
shoots the head that goes flying. His arm goes flying off, but he's still walking like headless, armless. He finally like falls over, and Mom from the back shoots him like a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I guess misses his heart. This movie also has like 40 endings.
Mhm.
They go in the room, they think it's all over. The other cop just shows up and he's like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the number of gunshots that he definitely heard,
Yeah.
knowing knowing that his partner is there,
Yeah.
he's so nonchalant.
And a child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's so nonchalant.
Norris tries to explain to his partner, like, oh, the doll is alive, and the partner's not buying it. And Norris is pleading, like, just don't touch it. Just please don't touch the doll. The partner goes out and checks like the crispy body, all the parts are all over.
Yeah.
His head is there melted. The partner instantly picks it up,
Yeah.
goes into the bedroom, puts it on top of the TV, and it's like, oh, does that like look that alive to you? And he's like smacking it. Chucky's body bursts through a door, grabs the partner, is strangling him, and the little Chucky head off to the side is like, kill him, strangle him.
Telling his body what to do, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is very funny.
Yeah.
The mom then tells Mike to shoot him.
We also watched in the Reanimator, a head tells its body what to do.
Yeah.
It's like a decapitated head, and it's like, go over here.
Giving orders to
Yeah.
body parts.
Yeah, it's really funny.
You also put together that the Talking Heads poster in
Oh,
Reanimator.
In Reanimator, somebody has a Talking Heads poster before any of
It's
this
a
ever
talking
happened.
head.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a lot of fun.
you like literally we turned it off and then you were like, oh, I just know.
Subtle.
Okay, so the partner's like being attacked. Mike is able to shoot Chucky in the chest, in the heart. Chucky falls. His final words, "Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?" He dies. They're all like, no one's gonna believe this.
We cover over it.
Yeah. Da, da, da. All of them are basically like, how are we going to explain this to anybody? We get Norris out, that way he can get some medical attention. Mom grabs Andy, they're leaving. Andy kind of lingers and like through the doorway is still looking at Chucky, like he kind of can't take his eyes off of his friend enemy that has now died. End of movie.
The end.
I was surprised like how like cut off the ending is.
I
Like,
thought there'd be
wasn't
one
any
more
kind
like
of follow-up.
Chucky Twitch or something.
Yeah.
Like he's the only one who sees like, oh, he's not dead or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like even not even just like another Chucky Twitch. Like definitely like he's come back so many fucking times.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
was expecting it, but like just no like follow up at all.
Probably in the extended cut.
Yeah, the extended cut. In the appendices.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene, like there's a scene of like of Andy and Karen and Norris all sailing off the Valor.
Yeah, why couldn't the Eagles have just stopped Chucky?
Right. Well, because Chucky would have seen them coming.
Yeah.
Well, ratings wise, this movie on a scale from 1 to 5, how scary do you find it? And then just overall quality of film, what do you think? We'll do scary first.
Scary.
Obviously, as a kid, a 10 out of 5. For
yeah,
you.
like a 15. Out of
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as an adult now, like now watching it, I don't know, like a 4. Like I thought it was pretty creepy. And
Yeah.
Oh, wait, this is out of a 10 or out of 5?
5.
Oh, out of 5
Yeah.
was our scale.
Out of 5, yeah.
Oh, like 2.
Okay.
Like a 5.
Like 5. I wet myself. I pissed my pants. No, like I thought the beginning was much creepier. Like the and maybe that was just for me. Like I remember.
No, I totally
Yeah, I
agree.
remember specifically being so scared of like the voice and like the facial movements of Chucky.
Yeah.
Like when he sounds like a bad guy, not like a doll. And like just the anticipation of that was kind of like giving me the alone at night willies.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. You're telling me you have a nightmare tonight.
But like once like
Yeah, once it starts.
once he's like you like
You
I'll kill
slut.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just rude.
yeah. And it's just like, oh, this is it's like a shitty little guy and a doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like and like quality of film, like I don't know, it's hard to say I
Maybe
think
how much you enjoy it.
like how much you enjoy it. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
If this was the first time I was seeing this movie, like I don't think I would have been like that, like enamored with it. Like I don't think it was that good.
Yeah.
Like the tone of it is just so weird, and like it feels all over the place. Like the elements of it that feel like a cop movie, like a serial killer mystery.
Yeah.
Feels so like incongruous with supernatural elements of it. Like the idea of like somehow magically like ritually animated doll. That is like after like this one specific kid is like intensely scary.
Yeah, that
still.
seems very creepy. Yeah.
But like I feel like the style of it, like and the way that and then the way that they portray Chucky, like his attitude, like kind of work against it a little bit to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it's hard because they probably want to ground it, but there's
Yeah.
no way to do that without it involving like cops and
Mm.
the kids' parents and like stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, like that aspect of it sort of like takes me out of the horror of the living doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, scary, I'd probably give it a 1.5. Definitely the moments that are slower, and because they do linger on some things, like with the checking the batteries, because you're like, you don't know if the doll's just gonna pop up, or like looking under the bed and slowly, or the couch and slowly pulling it out. Like
Yeah.
little moments where, oh, the doll could do something and I don't know when it's gonna do it, are like a little scary, but especially, yeah, when he becomes just so silly and is like,
Yeah.
okay, he's just like a little jerk.
That was like, and that was the only way I was able to like kind of like deal with like how much Chucky scared me, because I used to think about it all the time. Like I would like have nightmares about Chucky, and like
Yeah.
if like the power was out, like
Chucky's
like,
there.
yeah.
I think we were like pretty close in age. I think we're like the perfect age to
Mhm.
have people
Yeah.
be like, Chucky's coming.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know how you survived having an older brother.
Oh,
That
yeah.
seems like so hard to do. Did
And
your
just
brother
all-
tell you that like something scary is coming?
My uncles would tell us that Michael Myers was by the gas station by our house and was gonna come. But he also told us like Miss Piggy and Kermit were there and he was gonna kill them.
Oh no!
So it was really, I was like,
Did he
oh.
write this
And it
movie?
was like half silly, like I was laughing, but I was definitely afraid of everything as a kid. Like there was a hallway and I was between, like, across from the bathroom, and I just
Yeah.
remember I'd have to like pee at night and be like, there's
Yeah.
definitely a murderer in the house and I'll just have to be quick. Or like if I was taking a shower, I would like want to wash my eyes really quick because
So you could
I
open
knew
your
someone
eyes?
would come and stab me or kill me.
See, like,
Anxiety.
but yeah, I
girl.
would worry.
anxiety,
I know all
baby.
these about Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
No, Chucky
like,
could kick his ass.
yeah, and that was the only way I was able to get them. Like, oh, he's just a fucking doll. Like,
Yeah.
how strong could he be? They'd be like, oh, I would just like throw him in a black trash bag and wrap that up with duct tape, and then put that in another trash bag and wrap that up with tape, and like make 4 or 5 layers of trash bags with duct tape. Then put that in like a steep trunk and lock that, and fill that with stones and weights and stuff, and throw that into a lake.
Into the ocean or something.
Like-
Yeah.
All
I
at
used to-
6 years old.
I used
Way
to think
more
that-
than Andy
I
could
used to
do.
think that as like about Jason Voorhees. I was like, they gotta cut him up into pieces and send the pieces all different
You
directions.
know what they gotta do?
Suppose they disposed of them
If they only
at dumpsters that happen to be along the same route.
In the last Halloween, don't they put Mike Myers through a
like a wood chipper.
yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
nasty.
I don't remember, but
Quality of film. I mean, Chucky's like so big and he's such a character, and I appreciate that. Like when you can craft like just a villain that people love and really resonate with. And we wouldn't have Megan without it, which Megan I absolutely love. But I don't think it's the best film or the best horror film. I'll give it like a 2.5.
oh man, you guys are
day.
dead wrong.
I know you love it, but that's good. We haven't had one. I think that we haven't totally agreed. Yeah, what are
It's
yours?
just great. I think it's like the tone is all over the place, but it really moves and it feels really fast and it's surprising all the time.
I mean, too fast. They're like, there's just
Yeah.
so many missing pieces.
What the fuck is going
Like there's math gone.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a doll who wants to kill you, I guess.
All wants to kill
We're
you.
throwing reason out the window.
You
But,
know,
like, I think if they tried to omit like one of those elements, maybe it'd be like,
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's not that scary. It's probably like a 2.5, 2. I think there's like things that are scary about it from like if you look at it from a kid's perspective, where it is
Kid
like
named Andy.
a kid named Andy who lost his dad and who is like, I am witnessing this scary thing and nobody believes me. And that must feel really isolating for a little kid. Like when you think about that kind of shit. But the fun part is I'm gonna kill you, like all that weird crazy shit. Like that stuff is like, it's insane to hear from a doll. So it's like
We gotta have a little fun.
4 out of 5
Strikes to make it happen. Like it's silly.
Yeah.
For silliness alone.
Yeah.
It gets a couple points for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's Child's Play.
That's Child's Play for you.
Thank you all so much for stopping by, hearing our thoughts. Thank you, Andrew. Where
Yeah,
can
thank
you see you?
What?
Am I out?
Am I out? I don't really.
Oh, yeah.
Or they come and kill me.
Where can they find you online?
Oh,
if they'd like
I'm
to follow
on
you.
Instagram and Andrew J Stanton on Instagram. That's really all.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Well, that's great. Thanks for picking this movie.
Thank you, and thank you all.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, Pops was pretty
Oh,